Let's talk about global shipping. It's the absolute lifeblood of our modern world. We're talking over 80% of all trade, but it's also an industry that's constantly on a knife's edge, facing a whole new era of challenges. So today, we're going to dive into how you can master those risks and keep that global trade flowing smoothly. And that, right there, just nails it. From geopolitical flare-ups and crazy supply chain bottlenecks to cyber threats and a mountain of regulations, risk isn't something you can just sidestep. Nope, it's a fundamental, everyday reality in maritime operations.
And that's the big question, isn't it? Because when risk is a constant, being unprepared, well, that's just not an option. So how do you make that jump from just putting out fires to proactively managing the entire landscape? To get our heads around that, we first need to understand the world we're dealing with. We're talking about a truly dynamic, interconnected system where one little thing going wrong can send massive ripple effects across entire continents. So let's break this down into the 5 key battlegrounds. You've got your operational risks, things like vessel breakdowns. Then there's environmental, trying to tackle emissions compliance. Regulatory, which is like navigating a maze of international laws. And of course, the ones that are always in the news, cybersecurity and supply chain disruptions. It's a challenge on multiple fronts, for sure, and you need a strategy that covers all of them. And the stakes for getting this wrong are incredibly high. The impact of dropping the ball on risk management isn't just some number on a spreadsheet. It is tangible, it is costly, and it can be absolutely catastrophic. And these consequences are devastatingly real. A vessel grounding, that can mean multi-million-pound losses, just like that. A cyber attack isn't just some IT headache. It can bring your entire operation to a grinding halt. We're not talking about abstract what-ifs here. These are real-world events that can hammer your company's finances, its reputation, and even its ability to survive. Okay, so you're facing this incredibly complex world with sky-high stakes. What's the solution? How do you actually get ahead of the curve? Well, this is where having a dedicated, professional toolkit becomes absolutely essential. And this certification is all about that, building practical, real-world skills that you can put to work inside your organization from day one. This isn't about abstract theory. It's about getting the tools you need to make a real, tangible difference right now. The program takes you through a really structured path to build up that expertise. You'll kick things off by learning how to spot and assess risks. Then you'll move on to actually quantifying them and prioritizing what matters most. From there, it's all about developing powerful mitigation strategies, learning to navigate those complex compliance frameworks, and finally, mastering the management of modern digital and cyber threats. And here's a look at one of the actual tools you'll master, the risk assessment matrix. This thing is so powerful because it lets you move beyond just guesswork. By scoring risks like, say, port congestion, based on both how likely it is to happen and the impact it would have, you can systematically figure out what needs your attention first. This is exactly how you prioritize your resources effectively. Let's apply this to something happening right now. Take port congestion. It's a massive issue for everyone. The risk factor is crystal clear, and the impacts are severe. You've got longer waiting times, higher fuel costs, and unhappy customers because of delivery delays. It's a common headache, but it demands a structured solution. And here is what that solution looks like in practice. This is what we mean by effective risk management. Instead of just sitting there and waiting, you're taking proactive steps. You're rerouting vessels, you're adjusting schedules, and the outcome? You slash those delays, you boost efficiency, and you keep your customers happy. You see? This is the big shift from being a victim of risk to being in control of it. Once you master these skills, it gives you and your whole organization a clear strategic advantage. It's about turning risk from something you're afraid of into an opportunity to perform even better. And for the organization, the value is just immense. You get improved operational resilience, which means you can bounce back from disruptions way faster. You tighten up your compliance, so you avoid those costly penalties, and you achieve real cost optimization by cutting down on financial losses from stuff that was totally preventable. It's all about building a stronger, tougher business.
So you might be asking, is this for me? Well, if you're a shipping operations manager, a port and terminal manager, a safety and compliance officer, or anyone on the front lines of logistics and the supply chain, then yes. If these challenges are your day-to-day reality, this certification was built for you. Ultimately, this is about more than just adding a new skill to your resume.
It's about stepping up. It's about preparing to lead in an industry that is changing by the minute.
When you can manage risk effectively, your role completely transforms. You go from being reactive to being strategic. You're now proactively protecting your company's most important assets, you're ensuring its integrity through compliance, and you become a key player in its long-term sustainable growth. The challenges facing the maritime industry, they aren't going anywhere. In fact, they're only getting more complex. The future of shipping will absolutely be defined by how well we all navigate this risk. So the only real question left is who's going to be equipped and ready to lead the way through it all.